Dennis Smith Jr.'s amazing comeback, simple version. He used to be the best basketball player who brought the ball up the court in the whole country. NBA players came to watch his high school games, but Dennis Smith Jr. failed so badly that he was kicked out of the league when he was only 24 years old. It got so bad that his own fans were yelling for his backup player to come in instead. Dennis basically quit trying. He got really heavy because he wanted to try playing football instead. But now he's starting games in the NBA and stopping Steph Curry from scoring. So how is Dennis Smith Jr. making the most amazing comeback in the NBA? But first, today's sponsor is Prize Picks. I've been playing this year and it has made NBA games so much more fun. That's what this is all about, having fun. But winning money is also fun too. And Prize Picks has two ways for you to still win. Even if you're wrong, Flex Plays let you miss 3 out of 5 picks and still win. So you can really test how much you know about the game and try to win big money. So I want to show you what my 5 flex plays are for tonight. I'm going to pick the fantasy points of Davion Mitchell, Pascal Shia, Kamascotti, Banzu, Nikola Vucevic, and Paul George. And I'm going to go more and more because that's how I like to play. And I'm going to play $50 on this one, but I'm going to pick the 3 that I'm most sure about for a 3-player power play. This is more risky, but you can also win more money. I'm guessing more on the fantasy points of Davion Mitchell, Pascal Siakam, and Scotty Barnes, and $25 on that one. They've got a sweet deal for us. Use promo code AMHOOPS when you sign up and it will give you a $100 match bonus. So if you put in $100, they'll give you $100. Put in 50, they'll give you 50. Make sure to use promo code AMHOOPS when you sign up. Well, he knew he wanted to be in the NBA since he was 4 years old. That dream made him dunk when he was 10 years old. His first dunk in a real game was a windmill dunk when he was 11. We have the video to prove it. When he was a junior in high school, he won the Best Player Award in North Carolina, but he tore his ACL before his senior year. But guess what? He was dunking again in 2 months because it turns out he was born with 2 ACLs in that knee. So when he was a freshman in college, he won the Best New Player Award and was ready for the draft. Many people thought the Knicks would pick him 8th because they needed someone to bring the ball up the court. But instead, they picked Frank Ntilikina, and Dennis went to the Mavericks 9th. At the time, LeBron said the Knicks missed out on a really good one and Dallas got a hidden gem. He should be a Knick, but Dennis joined the Mavs, who still really didn't know what they were doing with an old Dirk Nowitzki. Smith made the all-rookie team as their second best scorer, but everything changed when they drafted Luka Doncic the next year. Luka and Dennis had to compete for playing time, but they were close friends when they weren't playing. They lived in the same apartment building. They played video games together, and Dennis made sure to show Luka around town. But then, head coach Rick Carlisle didn't see it that way. He embarrassed Dennis in front of the team. ESPN said many players were shocked during a team meeting when Carlisle said Smith was jealous of Doncic. The players thought it was really unfair to Smith, who wasn't playing well but was honestly trying to work well with Doncic on the court. Doncic really didn't like what he saw as Carlisle's try to make him fight against his friend and teammate. Carlisle was known to do stuff like that. He famously had fights with point guards like Jason Kidd and Rajon Rondo and later Luka, but Dennis didn't have the power that those other players had. It got so bad, he was traded to the Knicks for Porzingis, which was great. honestly, because it was a fresh start in a place he should have been anyway. In 21 games after the trade, Dennis scored 15 points per game. But in year 2, everything fell apart. Injuries started piling up, and it hurt how he played. People were so upset they traded an all-star in Porzingis for some young backup, and they blamed it on Dennis. It got so bad. 3 games in, fans were yelling to bench him right in the middle of Madison Square Garden. That's really tough for a young man to hear from the home crowd. The day after that game, his stepmom died. Dennis was close to her, and it crushed his feelings and his confidence. After that, he hurt a disc in his back, and he was never the same again. David Feasdale got fired. Coach Tom Thibodeau stepped in, but Dennis was out of the rotation the next year, so he went to Thibs and actually asked to go to the game. They said yes to that request, but traded him to the Pistons for Derrick Rose 20 games in with Detroit. He was scoring about 7 points a game when he tore his meniscus. So they traded him to Portland, but after a few small injuries, he hurt his elbow and just got cut. The crazy thing is nobody picked him up after that. This was a top 10 pick out of the league at 24 years old. Guys he was ranked higher than in high school were doing great. Jason Tatum, Jonathan Isaac, Malik Monk, Miles Bridges, Bam Adebayo. Now, no one wanted Dennis Smith Jr., and you could say injuries ruined his career, but it could also be the teams he played on. It's a really underrated fact that who drafts a player can make or break his career. He just happened to end up with the Mavericks and the Knicks during some of their worst seasons in team history. When the opposite happens, you get like a Gary Payton to last year on the Warriors or Cameron Payne on the Suns. So despite all his talent with no one wanting him, Dennis basically gave up. He said, quote, "I told my previous agent I'm not going overseas. If this don't work out, I'm just going to the NFL," and I was dead serious. I put on a lot of weight. I was gonna try. Dennis was a star defensive back in high school, and he could have played college football. But while he put on weight, he moved to Miami and worked with the Taylor Sport Group, who run a program for players during the summer. While he was there, Dennis bumped into a Hornets assistant who was looking for a backup point guard. Most people expected them to sign Isaiah Thomas or Kemba Walker, but Smith played so well in Miami, he signed a 1-year deal with his hometown team. And let's be honest, nobody expected anything from Dennis. People were shocked. He even got signed. But days before the season, LaMelo Ball badly hurt his ankle. Then Terry Rozier rolled his ankle 2 games in. Suddenly, Dennis Smith Jr. is a starting NBA point guard after putting on weight to desperately try out for the NFL. But in his 4th start against the champs, Dennis had the ball down too with 26 seconds left and did this there on their feet, Dennis Smith Jr. Then on the other end, he stopped Steph Curry to send the game to overtime. I know stopped. Steph Curry is a strong statement. What else do you call that? The Hornets won that night, and the next game he became the 3rd player this year to get at least 15 points. 5 rebounds, and 5 steals. Only Jimmy Butler and DeJounte Murray also did that. It looks like, as long as he can stay healthy, Dennis Smith has locked down the backup point guard job on his hometown team. He might bring back his NBA career. I had to work my butt off this summer. And, a lot of people trying to say, oh, he shouldn't be in the league, this and that. And just having to tune all of that out and lock in and to be able to come in and do my job and win the game against those guys. So that means the world to me? Now, I don't want this to sound like he's gonna be a star like people thought. The fact is, he has never learned how to shoot well. Yeah, he's made 8 of 18 three-pointers so far this year, but that's never been his strong thing. Sometimes players get drafted high with amazing skills, hoping, oh, they'll learn to shoot. In the NBA, it never happened. The Knicks even had their special shot doctor try to fix his shooting, and it did not work. But the good news is DSJ is one of the toughest defenders at his position. He can run plays with very few mistakes. And that is a backup type player who stays in the league a long time, which is huge for a dude who was getting offers to play in Europe 2 months ago. His new head coach Steve Clifford said this: "Some guys figure it out late. Some guys figure it out right away." He is a talented guy. Even though with the injuries, he's not the athlete he was. I don't see that he's doing anything he can't continue to do, frankly. And if that's true, we are watching the comeback of an NBA bust who honestly deserves it. I hope you enjoyed that. Feel-good video. Watch my most controversial video ever. I'm actually really surprised at the comments. It's shocking, actually. And even though it hasn't gotten a ton of views, it makes me even happier that I did end up making this video. Check it out.